Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth, stands on the Bifrost, with Mjolnir in his hands, staring down an army of dark elves. "I am Thor, god of thunder, and no one dares oppose me, for I am king." Thor leaps into the air and crashes into the dark elves, taking them out with a giant bolt of lightning. Thor fights the Dark Elves and is joined by Lady Sif, played by Jamie Alexander, in the Warriors 3. "You dared to imprison our king. Now you must face our wrath. The wrath of 1,000 soldiers. And still, you crumble at the might of a single hammer." Thor swings Mjolnir into more of the Dark Elves, knocking them off the Bifrost. "Thor, how did they get here?" "I haven't a clue. Heimdall claims he didn't see them coming. Something is wrong." Thor, Sif, and the Warriors 3 continue to battle the Dark Elves. When their army is significantly cut down, Thor leaps into the air, bringing down a massive bolt of lightning onto the rest of the Dark Elves, taking them all out. Thor, Sif, and the Warriors 3 stand in victory, as the rest of the Asgardians stand behind them, cheering for their king. People of Asgard, I am aware that the visitation of the Dark Elves should be worrisome. I did not lie when I said I had cut off any possibility of the Dark Elves leaving Svartalfheim. When the Warriors 3, Sif, and I defeated Malekith, we made sure it was absolutely certain that they could not come to Asgard and harm us. But it appears somehow that they found a way to come here. Do not let this bring fear into our great kingdom. It is being handled, and I will personally get to the bottom of this. Thor walks off the podium in front of the Asgardian palace, and walks over to Lady Sif. "So, what do you think it could be? Do you suppose Loki's behind this?" "No. I am making it one of my priorities to find Loki, but it wouldn't make sense for him to send Dark Elves. Has Heimdall given any updates? He still says he didn't see them into the kingdom. It shouldn't be possible. I mean, unless there's someone out there who has powers more tuned into the Bifrost than Heimdall. But I would surely know about their existence if that were true. Are you suggesting some kind of Bifrost witch? I don't know, Sif. This is all so different for me. Everything's changed so fast. And believe it or not, running a kingdom of gods isn't exactly an easy task. I don't suppose thinking about Loki makes things any easier. Of course not. But I can't keep dwelling on Loki. I must focus on bettering Asgard. Back when Loki was king, you all were so quick to join his side and invade Earth. You hurt lots of people, all out of allegiance to a king you knew had bad intentions. I have to fix things. I must bring Asgard back to what it was originally supposed to be. Because currently, things could be a lot better. Loki did leave the kingdom in shambles, and I will admit that I'm partially to blame for that. But I believe in you, Thor. If anyone can fix the mistakes we've all made, it's you. I have faith in myself, Sif. But with my new role in the kingdom, I also don't really have time to visit Midgard anymore, the home of most of my friends. There are some people I really wish I could see right now. Thor turns around and sees Beta Ray Bill, voiced by Liam Hemsworth. Bill, you've come back. And I see you found yourself a new weapon. This is Stormbreaker. It was designed by Eitri, after I saved the dwarves during their dark war. So you are doing more than just seeking out Loki after all. Only if it falls along my path. My only goal is to seek vengeance on the god of mischief for decimating my home and species. Bill, it is an honor to finally meet you. I've heard such great tales of your escapades. You know, I never learned the story of how you two met, though. I was flying throughout the cosmos one day, when I saw Bill's ship, Scuttlebutt, being attacked by a foreign species. I thought whoever this strange cosmic traveler was could use some assistance. So I boarded the ship and began to fight the hordes of alien attackers. I threw Mjolnir around as I usually do, and to my great surprise, Bill caught it. I had never seen someone else worthy of wielding Mjolnir, and to this day, Bill is the only other individual besides me who can hold it. Bill thought I was his enemy, so he tried to use Mjolnir to fight me, although he was largely unsuccessful. Unsuccessful? I beat your ass, Thor. Okay, we both remember the story differently. Anyways, after we worked everything out, Bill told me about his people's war with the Xylothians, and I agreed to let him borrow Mjolnir for the time being. Well, I find you to be a very honorable warrior, Bill. Bill blushes. Why, thank you, milady. Why have you come here? Have you found Loki? I sent him. Frigga, played by Renee Russo, comes walking into the garden. I contacted Bill about the Dark Elves, and he claims to have experienced something similar. It is true. While I was in Vanaheim, I noticed something very odd. The Bifrost opened, and thousands of elves from Alfheim came pouring through. I knew that this surely wasn't the doing of Heimdall. Thor, I think the Bifrost is malfunctioning. That isn't possible. You mean to tell me that the 9 realms are bleeding into each other? I can't believe I'm saying this, but we might need Loki's help with this one. He's the only person I know of who was able to defy the laws of the Bifrost. We still have a problem then. Loki is nowhere to be found. Not even Heimdall can see him, meaning he isn't in the 9 realms, and wherever he is, we have no hope in finding him. Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, sits in the Xylothian palace as he feasts on a meal with Cortax, King of Xylar, voiced by Ian McKellen. It really is great to have you back, Loki. I'm glad you have the opportunity to see all the positive changes you have made to our society after ending our war. Although, I must say that it is quite a miracle that Beta Ray Bill hasn't looked for you here, though. I assume it was too obvious to check. Besides, Bill knows that he can't show his face around here safely, especially without Mjolnir. Tell me more about your escapades. Why did you decide to just give up? Let your brother become king. You almost had it all. I ask myself that same question most nights, and I don't really have an answer. I guess he just got to me. I believed what he said, and I wanted to change. At least, I think I did. It doesn't matter now. I'm back to square one. I'm sure you'll fight your way back to the top. I'm not sure if I want to, Cortax. I'm not too sure about where I want to go from here. Well, maybe it's not something you're looking for. Maybe it's someone. You have always been quite a loner, Loki. Maybe opening up a bit more will help you find purpose. Thor stands in his throne room as his mother walks in. How are you feeling, my son? Overwhelmed. I've barely been king for a month, and I already have to deal with a dozen other problems that aren't anywhere near related to my original goal. How did Father make this look so easy? You are a great king, Thor, and you'll figure this out. I have faith in you. Besides, I loved your father, but I can admit that you have a greater care for your subjects than Odin ever did. Thor runs to the balcony and looks up to see a giant Bifrost portal ripping into the sky. Thor, I came as soon as I could. Heimdall says this isn't his doing. We have another Bifrost tear on our hands. Thor leaps off the balcony and flies onto the ground, as all the Asgardians stare up into the sky, at the large rainbow portal. Calm down, everyone. This is being handled. You are all perfectly safe. I'm here, Thor. Who do we need to punch? The portal shoots onto the ground, and two figures slowly begin to be seen through the blinding light. The portal vanishes, and out walks Amora the Enchantress, played by Jodie Comer, along with Scourge the Executioner, played by Karl Urban. King Thor, is this a bad time? Who in Odin's name are you? Amora, but I go by the Enchantress. It's more alluring, don't you think? And this is Scourge, the Executioner. Good evening, sir. Why have you come to Asgard? Are you behind these Bifrost tears? Oh yes, I'm terribly sorry about all of that. I was only trying to help. Help how? Let's start from the beginning. I have extraordinary powers. I'm like a Bifrost witch of sorts. My connection to the Bifrost is even stronger than the likes of your friend Heimdall. I knew these powers had to be used for more than a quick ride to Midgard, so I decided to put them to good use. I'm trying to bring together the 9 realms. I was born on Vanaheim, and even as a young girl I could see that our society was not prospering. I heard tales of Asgard, this city made of gold, that thrived and was happy, and I thought, I'm going to rule Asgard one day. That will all be mine. But now, I realize that just ruling Asgard isn't the solution I'm looking for. I'm trying to bring together the 9 realms. Let it all be one, by folding the Bifrost in on itself. Do you realize how many problems that could create? If all the 9 realms became one, the wars between each civilization would be endless. I realize that there are some faults within my plan, which is why it's a slow process, and why I've been testing out my powers along the way, as you've been made aware of. And what's he for? Oh, Scourge? Well, let's just say you can't get anything accomplished without committing a bit of murder. Excuse me? I will not help you with this foolish plan. I assume it's only a ploy to take control over the 9 realms like everyone else seeks to do. Not at all. You would rule over the 9 realms, my king. Albeit, I seek to rule at your side. As your queen. Guards, seize her. This woman is clearly out of her mind. The royal guards walk towards the Enchantress, but she uses green magic to lift them up and fling them away, as Scourge pulls out an axe and fights through the guards. Bill, I think these are the ones we want to punch. Thor and Beta Ray Bill jump into the battle, but Enchantress whispers into the guards' ears and they begin to turn against their king and fight him. How did you do that? Like I said, I'm alluring. Thor and Beta Ray Bill fight off the Asgardian guards, as the Enchantress and Scourge walk away. We'll be back tomorrow. If you haven't changed your mind by then, you'll surely regret it. Thor and Bill swing their weapons at the guards, and after the Enchantress leaves, they snap out of it. Well, we found the source of our Bifrost problem. Yep, and about 100 new problems were just created. Bill, I think you were right. We do need Loki's help. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is one place I didn't look. Thor and Beta Ray Bill land on Xylar, as an army of Xylothians led by Cortax approaches them. You, Beta Ray Bill, you are not welcome here. Leave before we kill you and your companion, King Thor. This isn't about you, Cortax. I do not wish to fight you or your people. We are looking for Loki. I haven't seen Loki since the day he left for Asgard. You tell lies. I can sense Loki's presence. Soldiers, attack these fools. The Xylothians charge at Thor and Beta Ray Bill, Both take out all the soldiers with ease. Beta Ray Bill flies towards Cortax and grabs him by the neck. Bring me Loki now, or I will behead you with Stormbreaker. Bill, set him down. Bill drops Cortax to the floor. Fine, he's in the palace. Just promise not to cause any trouble. Thor and Bill fly to the Xylothian palace and land inside, where they see Loki looking out a window. I knew you would find me eventually, brother. The question is, why now? Loki turns around to Thor and Bill. We need your help. No, we don't. Bill? What are you doing? Bill walks up to Loki and gets in his face. I've made it my entire life's goal to find you, Loki. To take revenge for killing my people. And I've finally found you. Bill swings Stormbreaker into Loki, but Thor jumps in front of him just in time and stops Stormbreaker with Mjolnir. Stop it, Bill! This is not what we discussed! Bill draws back and clutches onto Stormbreaker. You will not stop me, Thor. I will fight you too if I have to. Please, Bill. The 9 realms are on the line. We will discuss this later. Just stop. I don't know how much the 9 realms matter to me. My home has already been destroyed because of this fool. There's no point in fighting if you have no one to fight for. Bill drops Stormbreaker and falls to his knees, beginning to cry. You're right, Bill. About everything. I did kill your people. Just like I killed those people on Midgard. And just like I killed my father. I've lost everything. I've thrown it all away. I have nothing to fight for anymore. So kill me. Bill gets up and grabs Stormbreaker, slowly walking towards Loki. No. I won't kill you. My father once said, if there is nothing but what we make in this world, brothers, let us make good. Loki, we have come for your help. There is a witch that seeks to fold the Bifrost in on itself, conjoining all the 9 realms into one. With me as king, and her as queen. Even Heimdall can't come close to her control over the Bifrost. Since you have defied the laws of the Bifrost before, we thought you might know a thing or two. We thought you might be able to help us. Besides, it has been a while since I've seen you. I defied the Bifrost's laws through the power of someone else, although with my magic I could know a thing or two about this witch. I will help you, Thor. For Asgard. Thor and Beta Ray Bill fly into Asgard, with Loki by their side, as all the Asgardians gasp. It's okay, everyone. I know it must come as a shock to see your old king here again, but I promise you, everything is as it should be. Oh, not quite, my king. Amora, back already? I've given you enough time. So, what's your decision? Will you take my hand in marriage? Of course not. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Scourge, kill these people. Loki prepares to fire an energy blast at the Enchantress, but before he can, she opens the Bifrost portal and sends him flying away into it. Where did you send him? You know, you are quite the resilient one, King Thor. Taking my plan into action would be way too boring. Why don't we have some fun with it? What are you saying? We're going to play a little game. I'll give you a chance to move on, ruling your kingdom like nothing ever happened. If you win this game, I will quit trying to bring together the 9 realms. What is this game? You have 3 days. 3 days until what the people of Midgard call Valentine's Day. If you find yourself a queen by then, I will leave you and the 9 realms be. If you haven't, I enact my plan and you make me your queen. Deal. Perfect. Scourge and I will stay here in Asgard while we wait. The Enchantress opens a portal as she walks away, sending Loki flying back into the ground. What are you doing, King Thor? You know I hate when we have to make deals with villains. I mean, finding a queen in 3 days? That's practically impossible. I have a plan. You, Loki, and Sif will need to watch over the kingdom. I have to go to Midgard. Go to Midgard? For what? To marry my queen. We cut to Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, working in her lab in Hawaii, as she FaceTimes Darcy Lewis, played by Kat Dennings. So, how's Hawaii? Incredible. It's a really nice change of scenery. Yeah, a permanent change of scenery. I can't believe you abandoned me to move to paradise. Well, when a job opportunity like this comes knocking at your door, you answer. Have you heard from Thor since all that Avengers stuff? Nope. Really? I mean, we know he was on Earth. He couldn't have even said hi? I'm over it, Darcy. It was an exciting chapter of my life, but it's over. I'm never gonna see Thor again. Hello, Jane. Holy shit. Darcy, I'm gonna have to go. Jane, don't you dare hang up on me. Jane hangs up on Darcy and stares at Thor. How did you find me? You've become quite a big deal in the science world. It wasn't too hard to find your new lab here in Hawaii. Thor, what do you want? Why are you here? I can't just say hi? Also, I need you to marry me within the next 3 days. What? You see, there's this evil witch, and if I don't find a queen before Valentine's Day, I have to take her hand in marriage, and she'll conjoin all the 9 realms, which is a bad thing. Thor, I'm not marrying you. Jane, the fate of the 9 realms is at stake. Please. The fate of the 9 realms is always at stake. Besides, you're the god of thunder. Just punch the witch and call it a day. She's different. She's powerful. I am begging you, Jane. Come to Asgard and be my queen. No, I can't do this. Jane stormed out of the lab, leaving Thor all alone. We cut back to Asgard and see Beta Ray Bill and Lady Sif stand next to each other as they look out the window of the Asgardian palace. Asgard truly is beautiful. Almost as beautiful as my home world. But neither location can live up to your beauty, Lady Sif. Bill, you're quite the charmer. What can I say? You enchant me. When this is all over, you owe me a drink. Loki sits in a tavern with Amora and Scourge. I find your powers fascinating. So, you just have total control over the Bifrost? Almost. I'm still learning to control it. But that's not my only power. Watch this. Amora turns to one of the Asgardians walking by with a mug of rum. You, give me your beverage. Yes, my enchantress. So, you can control minds. Not exactly. I make people obsess over me. Make them want to do what I ask. It usually only works on men, though. Then, why don't you just do that to Thor? Your brother has a very strong will. Too strong for my powers. Besides, if I want to gain King Thor's heart, then a chase will be much more fun. Well, good luck with that. Thor's heart currently lies in the hands of another woman. What do you mean? Why do you think he's on Midgard? Thor has a girlfriend there. What? Scourge! Travel to Midgard this instant and kill Thor's girlfriend. He was never actually supposed to win this game. Yes, my enchantress. Excuse me, do you know if you have any more microscopes in stock? Why the hell would you come to CVS for microscopes? I'm on a budget, don't judge. Jane walks over to the candy aisle, where she stocks her cart full of Valentine's Day candy. All of a sudden, Thor enters the CVS, followed by a mariachi band. You've got to be kidding me. Bum, 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 bum. Thor, What are you doing? Jane, you are my favorite person that I've met. Named Jane. I like the way you say your name because it rhymes with Jane. Jane rhymes with so many things. Stop it, you're embarrassing like pain. But you don't give me pain. Jane, you give me the opposite of pain. Jane also rhymes with mane, like the mane of a lion. A nice big lion. Because the lion represents my heart for you, Jane. It's so big. Jane also rhymes with cane, like a candy cane. Because I want to No, do not finish that sentence. For you know that mariachi music is not Hawaiian, right? What? It's Mexican. Oh. It appears I have made a grave mistake. Now you surely will never love me. What are you talking about? Just... Can we talk, Thor? Absolutely. Without the mariachi band. Oh yes, my mistake. You made a part to find warriors. Thor, I can't leave my entire life behind to marry you. I know you just want to save your kingdom. But there has to be another way, right? Earth is my home. Besides, I haven't seen you in forever. You can't just jump back into my life and expect me to marry you. I'm sorry, Jane. You're right. In fact, I didn't want to leave Midgard either. I like it here. I'm just stressed with my new role as king. I'm trying to do what's best for Asgard, not what I want. And it's tiring. Thor, you dirty cheater. You can't use a previous girlfriend to win Enchantress's game. Who is this? Scourge the Executioner. Don't worry, he's not a threat. His name is literally the Executioner. That it is, and I am here to execution you. Execute you. Stand back, Scourge. Trust me, you don't want to hurt her. You are such a foolish one, Thor. Any smart man would want to be with the Enchantress. Why do you think I'm working with her? You know, maybe if I kill you too, then she will get her mind off of you and decide to be with me instead. Scourge leaps towards Thor and Jane, swinging his axe at them. Thor quickly guards Jane and smacks Scourge's axe away with Mjolnir. Your axe. It is strong. The blood axe is highly durable. Not even a blow from Mjolnir can shatter it. Thor and Scourge continue to fight, swinging their weapons into each other as Jane watches on in fear. Eventually, Thor overpowers Scourge and pins him down with Mjolnir, as Scourge struggles to fight it off with the blood axe. Jane, run! Instead of running, Jane goes and grabs a shotgun from out of her jeep, which she fires at Scourge. Instead of hurting Scourge, the gunfire surprises Thor, causing Scourge to be set free. Foolish girl. Your stupidity will now lead to your death. Scourge slowly walks towards Jane, dragging the blood axe along the ground. All of a sudden, Thor jumps up behind him, slamming Mjolnir into the back of his head and knocking him out. Ah, good friends. I'm glad you could see the fight. The Nine Realms are really in trouble, aren't they? Yes, Jane. Midgard included. If Enchantress wins, then your own home will be in danger. I understand now. Jane, I know you've made yourself clear, and I just want to try one last time. Thor gets down on one knee and presents Jane a ring pop that he stole from the CVS. Jane Foster, will you marry me? Yes. Scourge returns to Asgard, where he meets back up with the Enchantress. Thor got the best of me, and even worse, he's found a queen. Oh, Scourge, it doesn't matter. What do you mean? He's getting married in Hawaii, one of the latest time zones on Midgard. Guess what, Scourge? In New Zealand, it's already Valentine's Day. So, I win, Enchantress walks out on the balcony to address the Asgardians. "Listen up, subjects. Your king has lost our little game, meaning I am now your queen." Lady Sif and Beta Ray Bill sneak up behind Enchantress and leap at her, attempting to take her out, but the Enchantress senses them and opens up a Bifrost portal, sending them both away to an unknown location. "Amora, please stop this nonsense. As someone who has tried pulling this before, it doesn't work out well. Besides, combining the 9 realms is an awful idea." "Loki, what have you become? You used to be such a role model. And now here you are, sticking up for your brother." "I'm not sticking up for Thor. I'm sticking up for Asgard." "You know what? Why don't we just forget about Thor? I found you much more alluring anyways. Join me, Loki. Be my king. Return to your position and become the king of Asgard once again." Loki stands there and thinks, until the Enchantress is impaled by a spear. Amora turns around and sees that Loki tricked her. She was just seeing an illusion, while the real Loki was standing behind her the entire time. "Don't do this." The Enchantress pulls a spear out and heals herself with magic, before starting a fight with Loki. The two sorcerers fire magical green blasts at each other, and eventually, Enchantress sends Loki flying out of the palace before returning to the balcony. "Now, my subjects, now that everything has been dealt with, it's time to create a new world."
Wise men say only fools rush in.
Thor, do you take Jane to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Jane, do you take Thor to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. By the power vested in me by the state of Hawaii, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Thor and Jane embrace in a quick kiss before Thor pulls out Mjolnir and changes into his Asgardian armor. We did it. Just hours before Valentine's Day. Now, let's go save the 9 realms. All of a sudden, giant Bifrost portals begin to crack through the sky, and all kinds of magical creatures pour out, brightening the people of Earth. What's going on? The 9 realms. They're bleeding into each other. Jane, stay here and find a safe place to hide. I'll find a way to fix all of this. Thor flies into the air, throwing the creatures back through the portals before flying through one of the Bifrost tears. Thor lands at the gates to Asgard, where he sees the Enchantress and Scourge standing in front of an army of Asgardians. "We had a deal, and I kept true to my side. Valentine's Day began in New Zealand hours ago. It's not my fault you picked the wrong place to get married. Now I am queen, and we all know you can't fight through all of my loyal subjects alone. So, you might as well agree to join me. Where is Bill? Sif? Loki? I'm afraid they won't be making it to this battle. How can you all stand behind her? You've been through this before, seen where blindly following your sovereign lands you. This woman is not your queen, and even if she was, you have free will. Just because she commands you to abandon everything you've ever known and fight for her doesn't mean you have to do it. What has happened to you, Asgard? You used to be so strong." One by one, the Asgardians lined up behind Amora begin to walk towards Thor. "Yes, my subjects, go dispose of him. If he refuses to comply, then I don't want him anyways." The Asgardians all leave Enchantress's side and stand behind Thor as they draw their weapons. "What? No, you can't disobey me. You belong to me." "We belong to no one. We're Asgardians." The Asgardians all charge towards Amora and Scourge, dodging the portals Amora creates to try and hold them off. Sif and Beta Ray Bill come flying through one of the portals and join in on the fight. The Asgardians quickly overpower Amora and Scourge. "You've left me no choice. It's time to rip off the Band-Aid." The enchantress holds her hands up to the sky and begins to emit a green glow as she screams. The Bifrost begins to twist and turn as members of the Asgardian army fall off. Amora, you couldn't hold me back for long. Don't do this. I've made these same mistakes, but I learned from them. I want to help you learn too. Uniting the 9 realms isn't a mistake. It's the key to a better world. Sure, this isn't the safest way to do it, but a lot of you have left me with no choice. Thor, remember when I tried to use the Bifrost to destroy Jotunheim? I think you need to do what you did again. There has to be another way. There isn't. If we can't stop her, we have to destroy her source of power. Goodbye, Jane. Thor lifts Mjolnir and slams it down onto the Bifrost, as the bridge begins to crack. You fool! You'll destroy anyone's chance of leaving or entering Asgard. Bill begins to help Thor, slamming Stormbreaker into the Bifrost as it begins to break. Thor sheds a tear, and with one final blow, the Bifrost shatters into billions of pieces, as the Asgardians all quickly run through the gates to safety. Amora falls to her knees. My only goal in life has been destroyed. I have nowhere to go from here. Loki holds his hand out to Amora. If there is nothing but what we make in this world, let us make good. Amora grabs Loki's hand and stands up. You know, maybe it's not something you're looking for in life. I think it's someone. Let me be your someone, Amora. Let's leave all of this behind. Find our glorious purpose together. We cut to Thor sitting in a bar with Beta Ray Bill. I guess this is it. This is forever what I will be. My chances of going to Midgard and seeing my friends and loved ones are gone. Well, maybe not. As Lothian enters the bar and sits next to Thor and Bill. This is Spurlock's. He came here through one of Amora's portals. He can take you back to Midgard, Thor. But only once. If I send you to Midgard, you won't be able to return. Not until the Bifrost is fixed. Thor sits for a moment and thinks. I'll do it. Midgard is where I belong. It's the place I need to protect. But Thor, you're the king of Asgard. You can't just leave it. Not anymore. As of today, I'm stepping down as king, giving the position to you, Bill. What? You're making me the king of Asgard? You're the best person I know for the job. This is incredible. And I think I know just who I'm going to make my queen. Now, Spurlocks. There's somewhere I should be. We cut to Thor stepping through an orange portal into Hawaii, as Jane Foster stands before him. Welcome home, Thor.
Trouble melts like lemon drops
high above the chimney top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Thor sits in his and Jane's Hawaiian bungalow, when all of a sudden, he hears a loud crash coming from outside. Thor runs out the door to see what it was. He looks around and sees nothing. That's when he feels someone tap on his shoulder. Thor turns around to see a man played by Jason Scott Lee, dressed in a traditional Hawaiian outfit. "Who are you? Who sent you? Amora? Loki? Malekith? The IRS? I assure you that I work for no one. I am just like you, Thor. I am a god. A Hawaiian god. My name is Kane. And we need to talk."